Hey.
Keep that.
Yep. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the After Thanksgiving TRIDENTCast Sickcast. We're your hosts, Death and Loathing.
Famine. Plague.
Plague and death and loathing and famine.
And I'm Brunt.
And that's Brent. Theme song. Alright, and we're back from that amazing theme song that was played. How'd you like it? Pretty good? Cool.
Was it the new Plague still?
It was the... Yeah, oh, that's good. So,
Nice.
The New Plague is our theme song.
Same as the old Plague.
By Droids Attack. And a couple of us have the New Plague.
Same as the old Plague.
Which apparently beer cures, so I've been trying that diet. Just beer. I'll let you know how that goes. And Brian and I got this second round of the Plague very recently at DaishoCon. Because we went to DaishoCon. And everybody that went to DaishoCon, me, Heidi, Brian, Andrea, Ian, Paula, they're all dead. All of them. They're dead. They're taxidermized by him.
Rip in peace.
Rip in peace.
Yes.
But yeah, some weeaboo didn't wash their hands, coughed on everybody, licked a few doorknobs.
And that was the end of it.
Yeah. So, but you know, otherwise it was good. These guys didn't go to DaishoCon.
No.
They missed out.
I was deaf like 2 weeks ago, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, the weird thing was that I was too. Remember, I was sick 3 weeks ago, and I was like getting over it, which sucked because we're working on the acoustic stuff right now and the electric stuff, and I've got a lot of like vocal shit to do that I want to get done, and
you can't,
and I just can't because I sound like death, and I'm coughing all the time, so.
And the nasal drip, don't forget that wonderfulness.
And the nasal drip, and I can't go outside. It's just terrible. It's like allergies everywhere. I try to use Afrin, but I got the off-brand stuff, and it burns my nose. Never again. Oh, God. So, anyway. But yes, we went to DaishoCon. We went last year, too. And I posted a video. I posted a video this year of DaishoCon. One of the cool things that we saw at DaishoCon, and basically the reason that I went to DaishoCon, besides just going, you know, but my mission at DaishoCon was to connect with a little band called Power Glove. And those of you out there, well, most people who like Lords of the Trident probably know who Power Glove is. And you guys mostly know Power Glove. Aki, do you know?
No, I think you showed me them.
Yep.
Yeah. Cover game music kind of band, right?
Yeah, yeah. They do video game music, and as far as I know, they were the first band to do strict metal covers.
Yeah, like power thrash metal covers of
video game music.
Nintendo games.
So,
yeah.
Can I ask real quick,
yeah,
do they play these covers note for note, or are they kind of band? I kind of like this. Are they one of those bands where they have the general, motifs from other games music, but then they throw in their own solos and whatnot? Okay, nice. That's
yeah. They do. They have interpretations. A lot of the stuff is pretty close, I'd say. But they have interpretations of the stuff. I'll play some Power Glove up here, or maybe just in the background if they don't have any videos. I don't actually know if they have any videos or not. So.
Well, they had a DVD they were selling.
Did they?
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's probably out there somewhere.
Okay. Well, yeah. So Power Glove, they are super fun.
And then right after them was I wouldn't really even call it a band, but Deadlift Lolita.
So yeah.
Deadlift Lolita.
So
yes.
I think people were I think most people were there because they were excited to see Deadlift Lolita instead of Power Glove. I think.
Am I hearing this right?
Deadlift
okay.
Lolita. So Deadlift Lolita is a spin-off band from this guy. I can't remember what his stage name is, but he's this 6'2" Australian guy who moved to Japan, and he joined a band, and he's like a heavy metal like screamer guy, like wah, 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 kind of a dude. And so he joined a Japanese idol group of like two little girls that sang like da, 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 the candy da, da, da. And so it's these two little girls da, 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 candy bah, and he's like blah, 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 candy bah. And he's and they're in like dresses, and he's also in a giant dress, with like eye makeup and the whole 9 yards.
I'm getting it up here.
He's pulling up a picture. I'll put a video or a picture.
Oh, and Andrea got pictures with them too.
Yeah. So
looks a little like
she's about 5 foot and he's about 6'2".
She's pretty fucking ripped.
Yeah,
as well.
she's got gigantic.
So initially he was in this band.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty. It's very Japanese.
Yeah.
Wow.
They look like her arms.
Originally,
They are.
Originally, he was in this band with these girls that were not very like
They're
ripped.
They're pro wrestlers too, right?
Well,
Or
so
sort of?
this is a different band I'm talking about. He started off in this other band.
Oh, okay. I get
with
it.
just
Maybe
two
this-
regular girls who were not ripped, and he was like the weird ripped guy.
Looks like an 80s
And then he quit that band and he started his own like solo project with another girl, and they called themselves Deadlift Lolita, and they were in like a Japanese pro wrestling thing together. Like he was a pro wrestler and so was she, and so she's really ripped and he's really ripped, and she like sings and he screams.
Does anyone else like see those arms and think like vice grip hand job? It's just like, bro.
Well, we do now.
Yep. Hey man, if
Tear
you're
it
into that-
off.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, I thought the Power Glove played really well. The mix was
Here you go.
pretty decent.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah.
Did you
Mhm.
Google vice grip hand job? Oh.
No.
We'll put results up here.
Yep. Here's the Google results of vice grip
Well, if
hand
you're gonna do a
job.
search engine, do Bing for naughty stuff.
Oh yeah, Bing.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So anyway, Deadlift
Bing for
Lolita's
naughty
mix was
stuff.
really bad, like really bad. He was too quiet. She was too loud. She couldn't sing very well. They were doing the whole like dancing thing, and it's like, I'm sure she's actually a pretty decent singer, but when you're dancing like a mile a minute and doing like essentially step aerobics on stage, you're not going to be able to sing 100% perfectly. So
With the right breath support and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because you're winded.
What's that band with the Japanese girls? That's like it's supposed to be like death metal. but
Baby metal.
Baby metal. They were like on Conan. And I was like,
Yeah,
whoa.
yeah, they got huge.
Yeah.
So yeah, Deadlift Lolita is kind of in that same like, oh weird, it's an idol group but not a normal one kind of a thing.
I feel like it's unfortunate because I always want like talent and songwriting to come first, but it is
No
true.
way.
I feel like a gimmick
Gimmicks
really sells
every
like,
time.
I mean, I think like
So
when Ty and I
we're
years ago saw Buckethead,
We know nothing
I think a lot of people weren't
Yeah.
there. Like some were there for the music, but a lot were just like, "Whoa, it's this guy with a KFC bucket and a
An
mask
8-finger
that no one's
tapping.
ever seen that does these, does this strange like the Tetris sound and whatnot." And
Well, I think the fact that he presents himself as weird and like mysterious helps. Because otherwise, yeah, he's an amazing guitarist. But if he was just a dude with black, like long black hair on stage and that's it,
yeah.
like, how does he separate himself from all the other?
Oh right, no,
millions
that's
of-
what I'm just saying. Is like it's sometimes I think it's unfortunate, but like the whole image or gimmick sells. It really does.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of selling, we sold out. We want to thank our sponsors: Wheelhouse Whiskey, Boss Mead, Rocker Vodka, and this strange Japanese sake box that I found. Actually, we didn't find. We drank last night because our good friend Kenton came over and brought this. And I can't remember what the name of it is. And here's our new segment, Embarrassing Aki. Aki, please read this. It's in Japanese. You should,
I think like every single one of those characters is kanji, so I have no idea.
And here's our new segment. Ty should be able to read this, but yeah.
Decadent flavor, notes of...
I will
Yeah.
say, side note.
Drink up, bitches.
There you go.
Yeah, you mentioned Kenton. So if you're watching this, Kenton, so glad you were able to make the Patreon party the second year.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
super cool to
Been
have
a
him
good
there.
friend of us in the band
Mhm.
for a very long time.
It was super cool to have everybody there.
Yeah.
Speaking of amazing friends and amazing fans, I got a shock this morning, and I told the rest of the guys, I got a shock this morning when our good friends, the Bakers, and now absolutely certified super fans. I mean, if they weren't before, but you saw this, right?
I did, yeah.
Our good friends and super fans, the Bakers from Baker's Acres, who send us all the amazing treats and gifts and stuff, got matching Lords of the Trident tattoos, which I am displaying right now.
Yeesh.
And it was tattoos. And I don't know if I can ever really fully explain the feeling of someone tattooing their body with something that you made, or like, you know, I don't know. It's a huge honor, and it's like a lot of pressure to like not ever suck. Because, you know, I mean, now, holy crap.
What about Elliot? You don't want to let him down.
But, you know, Elliot was in the band, so, like...
I'm fine with letting Elliot down.
I'm fine with letting Elliot down. Yeah,
That'd be funny, but not this.
exactly.
Are they
You
the
know.
only other non-band band members that you know of to tattoo?
Yeah, yeah. They're like the first. They're the first non-band members to get a Lords of the Trident tattoo. So I think we can make a check box in the levels of fame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think we can move from a D- to a D grade famous at this point.
All right.
to a D half minus.
Yeah, something like that.
We're like almost at pass fail.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
to see.
We're just about there. So, you know, one of these days. But yeah, it was like, we're incredibly grateful. We're incredibly honored. Thank you guys so much. I don't even know what to say. It's like...
Costumes were really awesome the real armor in a sense at the Peoria show.
Yeah. Well, did you see the
awesome.
axe that they made with
Yeah.
the... Oh my
That was like a
gosh.
guitar with fretboard.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I'll put those up there too. It's just incredible. Just
Perfect
amazing.
segue to Rock and Skullfest.
Yes. Great segue. Thank you, Aki. We played our last two shows of the year. First one was in Rochester, Minnesota, and the second one was in Peoria, Illinois, and we played them back to back. So we were playing in Rochester, Minnesota, and I think I said this last podcast. We were playing in Rochester, Minnesota, and we were slated to go last originally because Post Paradise from Fort Collins was going to drive up and play with us there, and they were going to, obviously go in the middle because we played there a lot more, and it makes sense. But thankfully or unthankfully, I love seeing those guys, playing with those guys, but timing wise, we didn't have to go last, which was good.
After Time ended up going last instead.
Yep,
which
after
was,
Time did. So after we played, we hauled butt and loaded up as fast as possible.
hit the road by what, like 12:30, 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
12:31, yeah. We got back to Madison. We slept for a few hours, maybe like 2.
Yeah, definitely 3 or less, I feel.
2, 3 maybe.
Yeah, I think
You guys woke me up with fresh
3.5.
pots.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
great.
Fresh pots.
That's right.
So we did that, and then we drove to Peoria, Illinois.
Which is further than
We
expected.
thought it's like 3.5 hours.
Yeah. So
3.5 hours both.
I'm gonna mess up the microphone here. Yeah.
I think it was just really funny because
I gotta look at something because one of these is weird. Nope, never mind. They're both normal. You can still talk.
Okay.
It's fine.
Ty was awesome. He did all the driving from after that night, and then still to Peoria. And then I took a separate car because the rest of us, after we played in Peoria, came back up, and I live my hometown's in Southern Illinois, and it was just very funny. I was like, "Oh, Peoria! Like I know that exit." And somehow in my mind, like, because I don't do the trip too often, I was just like, "Oh, it's like a couple hours." But then, like, after like 3 hours, I'm like, "Fuck, this is."
Yeah.
This
Well-
is like the halfway point.
It was the exit, but then there was a lot of back roads off of the
Yeah.
interstate that
Oh my
needed
God.
traversing to actually get to the Don's barbecue pit or wherever it was we played.
Dirty Dick's Bar and
That's
Grill.
it. Okay.
Dirty Dick's.
In the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So there, you know, we could really go into the whole backstory behind this Rock and Skull thing, but basically, it was this huge deal. Like Ace Frehley and Steel Panther and a bunch of these big bands were playing it, and it was going to be in a dome.
It's called indoor soccer stadium.
Indoor soccer stadium. It was going to be this huge thing. They sold, you know, a huge number of tickets. Some weird PR stuff happened. That like
someone pissed off someone.
Yeah, somebody pissed off somebody. A bunch of people said some things that were untrue, and a bunch of the bands dropped, and so they refunded tickets and they moved it. So anyway,
and it was originally, I was told, like over 2,000 tickets sold. Like, I mean, crazy.
there was 6,000.
Okay, 6,000.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
So anyway, they ended up moving it to Diesel Dicks, Dirty Dicks, one of the, you know,
I think Diesel Dicks. I think
Dirty
is.
Diesel Dicks, in Peoria. It was still,
Damn it.
and it was still a lot of fun. And we made it there on, like, you know, 3 hours of sleep, driving 3.5 hours. And the kicker to all of this was Michelle was helping us do merch, and the plan is that we were gonna go, you know, up to Rochester. I was gonna drive all the way back, and then when we got to Madison, we'd take 2 cars, drive down there. And then Michelle and I would take turns doing the merch booth while the other one slept, and the rest of the guys were gonna leave and go home.
Because we played at what, like
we played
1 o'clock, 1:15,
at 12:30.
12:30.
and this thing went all day long. So and we all had other things we had to do that day. So
Right.
I think it was very unfortunate, not to get sidetracked, but the time was very unfortunate. Not just because we didn't get much sleep, but like I think you guys made a great point about how, like, you know, a lot of times when we play at shows, we make a lot of our money with merch at the end of the at the end of the night. But the problem is, so when we played at 12:30, it's like the people who came to see bands at like 6 p.m. or whatnot, they hadn't even heard us at all.
Oh,
so
right.
Yeah. There's no frame of reference. They're not
Exactly.
interested.
Yeah.
And not only that, this was the second night of the 2-night fest. So a lot of people had stayed up late the first night partying, seeing the headliner, and just partying. You know, so they probably weren't going to get there till 3, 4, 5, whatever. I will say we still had a pretty decent crowd, and they were they were into it. You know, the people that were there were totally into it, so that was fun. But so to get back to the Michelle thing, so after Rochester, Michelle gets a call from her husband Sean, aka Beardo, aka Mantor the Yoked, which starts out with, "Hey honey, don't panic. Everything's okay," but, which is exactly what you always want to start up a conversation with. Apparently, he was in the emergency room and had to have emergency surgery the next morning. I can't remember what happened. Gallbladder. So gallbladder ruptured, and he had to have emergency surgery. So, of course, when we got back to Madison, Michelle just had to, she slept a couple hours and got back up to Appleton to take care of him. So that left me, like, standing at the merch booth for like the next 5 bands going. And
you made it to what, about 5:30, and you said I gotta go.
I made it to about 5:30, and we hadn't had any sales in the last 3 bands or so. We met a lot of really interesting people, but like Aki said, I mean, most people hadn't been there to see us. They liked the merch setup. They thought it was cool, but they didn't know what we were all about.
Met a super cool photographer down there named Danny, and she's the one who put the shots up of our weapon pile before we went on.
Just
so
when I recognized that you had a stock costume, right? Like
yeah.
Like
and she
costume.
also recognized that because she was also a cosplayer, and she had done an Alucard costume for herself, and she's like, I know that coat, and I'm like, busted.
So I mean, all in all, it was the timing was terrible, and it was pretty grueling, but both shows were really good.
But we still got to hang out with Inner Siege a bit, and they're always awesome.
Oh, and I will plug this real quick for those of you out there who know and love Inner Siege like we do. Inner Siege just started a Patreon. So if you like Inner Siege and you want to support them and you want to get some behind the scenes stuff from them, they're working on a new album right now too. Go to the Inner Siege Patreon. I'll put it up on the screen, and I'll put a link in the description if I remember. Otherwise, just type Inner Siege Patreon, and you'll find it. Speaking of costumes, I want to jump back to DaishoCon real quick.
The Battle Bruisers.
Yeah, because this is funny. So our wives and Paula all went as characters from Kill la Kill, and I'll put the picture up here. If you haven't seen the anime Kill la Kill, it's actually pretty hilarious.
I liked it quite a bit, and
Yeah.
I don't actually like a lot of animes, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. So
I thought we're about halfway through it, and it's pretty funny and pretty just out there.
Yeah.
The backstory of Kill la Kill is basically this woman finds her father murdered, and then finds that her father has made this school uniform that is alive, and
gives her superpowers.
Drinks her blood to give her superpowers, and transforms into this super crazy, like, insanely revealing outfit, and that's like part of the superpower. Like, the more revealing it gets, the more superpower she has. It's like there's two like straps just going down over her nipples, and like it's really funny. It's just absurdist humor. It's really funny.
So no, they did not do.
They didn't do that
costumes.
one. They did the before, not the after. I have seen cosplayers do the after. Wow.
I suspect they get tossed out of the conventions.
You got to be really attractive to do that.
Yeah, you have to be really in shape.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
And then you still get tossed out because anime conventions don't want people walking around like that.
Yeah,
typically
like mostly naked.
Yeah.
So anyway, Brian and I just went in our Lord's costumes, and we were telling people that we were cosplaying as Henkel and Francois from an anime called Battle Bruisers, which does not exist.
And Ian was our equipment manager.
Yep. It was Henkel, Francois, and of course Ian.
Yeah.
He was just in a shirt and pants.
Yeah. Ian, our equipment manager, whose name is Ian.
Yep, exactly. And that was really funny. We were just coming up with like the backstory of the whole
But now
time.
we're gonna have to make that some sort of real thing.
Battle Bruisers. Yeah, we were talking about doing a song called Battle Bruisers.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. Anyway, so Rocket Skull, that was fun.
Could be the next Skyforce Animals. Or
Yeah, I
whatever.
just like feel like I can hear it be like battle bruisers.
Yeah. The same sort of
Manly
like
Witness.
that is manly. Manly bruises. Yeah, I guess for those of you who don't know, Skyforce came from. Well, Aki, why don't you tell the story? You tell it well.
Wait, what story?
The
Skyforce Animals.
The backstory.
Oh my god, I feel like
behind.
we've told it so many times.
Have we told it on the
I've
podcast
never heard
though?
this before.
And he's never heard it.
Are you sure?
He told it at the Patreon
We
show
told
that you
at the-
played
But
at.
he was
Well-
drunk. He doesn't remember that.
All right.
Yeah,
That was like the first song.
Okay.
It's like I shouldn't be playing
TLDR version. Aki and I went to a dollar store. We bought one of those things that you put on the thing and go whoop and it flies up.
I wasn't there when you bought it. I found it in your
Yep.
car.
All right. So it was a thing called Skyforce Animals, and the thing that you put on the thing was a sparrow that had wings, like in the thing. And of course, they put a fucking propeller on the top of it. So it was a sparrow with wings and also a
And
propeller.
that's like the absurdity of it.
Yeah, and it was Skyforce Animals. And Aki was like, "What is this shit? Like, why does it have wings and a propeller?" And so he's like, "This seems like one of those '80s cartoons, like Skyforce Animals coming together to save the day, baby." You know, and so that's where Skyforce came from,
And thus one of our hit singles was born.
and that's one of our hit singles was born.
What the
Well,
hell
I
is
found
this
that so
shit?
funny because I had a toy when I was a kid. It was actually really cool. It wasn't a kind. It was like kind of a wind-up thing that had like a rubber band inside, and it was like a bird, and actually like the wings flapped, like you went
really?
up and you threw it, and then it like flapped and flew. And so I thought that was so silly that normally those toys where you pull the zip line and then it flies up, like
Yeah.
they're like helicopters. Because it makes sense, like a helicopter
Yeah.
is a propeller.
Yeah.
So it sounds like so silly that it was like a bird, and then it had like a propeller on top.
Yep.
But yeah.
So, this podcast might be a little short today because we don't have much because we've been sick, A, and B, we've been just going at recording like hardcore. For the people who are on our Patreon, which is probably most of you, also, Aki brought a 4-pack of the Nuglass Raspberry Tart. Yes. So,
I'm really happy, not to get too sidetracked, I just want to say I'm very happy about this. Like, so New Glarus has been starting to release their bombers that they've had in the past as 4-packs.
Yeah.
And it's a way better deal.
Have you had this before?
If it's their normal raspberry tart, then yeah.
yeah.
Because
Okay.
so a 4-pack like the raspberry tart or the
It just usually comes in a much bigger bottle.
Yeah.
the cranberry, etc. It's $10.99 for a 4-pack.
Oh, that is much
And a
better.
single bottle is like $10. It's crazy. So you're
Yeah.
getting like twice as much. It's a crazy good deal compared to the others. And at Black
Oops.
Friday, where I work, it was 25% off all beer.
Yeah.
So
Brent, are you drinking?
I'll take one.
Okay.
I always like New Glarus' offerings.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Well, there's a shorty for you.
All right, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Hey.
Raspberry tears.
Thanks,
Nice to see you guys. I haven't seen anyone except Ty for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
we haven't
yeah.
had a practice for 2 weeks.
Which is because we've been recording our butts off. And for those of you who are on the Patreon, which is most of you, we are currently like 8 months done, mostly done,
You feel it in your
With
jowls
image-
back here.
with our Grandpa's
It's a
Guitars
bite.
acoustic album. The plan is, right now, is to release one acoustic song, acoustic remake of one of our songs, every month for at least the next 2 years for the people that are on our Patreon. And right now, we're pretty far into about 8 songs, which means we've got about 8 months like ready to go, which is good because we're gonna need those 8 months to like finish the real album. That being said, things are sounding great.
I think the acoustic stuff sounds really good.
Yeah, it's
I remember
turned out really
Brian,
nice,
you mean,
yeah.
there, and I think Brent were here when we were first hearing it, and we're just like, it sounds like so crisp and whatnot. It sounds really good.
Yeah. We I did a lot of work on the mixing and we're using some a really great guitar, a really great mic. Things are sounding really, really good. So the first song we're gonna release, once my voice stops being shitty, is 0 Hour, and that should be releasing hopefully by the end of the month. As long as I can get the harmonies done by the end of the month, we're sending it off to the mastering agent as soon as it's done. The cool thing for you musicians out there. So we're all ASCAP members, which is a funny thing to say. ASCAP. Aki's thinking about it really
Put a
hard.
cap on your
ASCAP. When did I sign up for ASCAP, he thinks. What is ASCAP? Is it what it sounds like?
Association.
Caps. Of caps.
Is
People
it
who like
two
caps.
A's in ASCAP?
Nope.
Well, there technically is 2 A's in ASCAP.
Well, I mean, yeah. ASC.
actually-
American
it's
Association.
No, it's not 2 A's in a row.
Oh.
ASCAP.
Oh.
I think
I
it's
see,
actually
yeah.
the American Society of Composers and Publishers.
Ah,
Oh.
Sorry.
gave it away.
I don't think I
Blew
would
it.
have ever got that. Okay.
So we are ASCAP members, and because we're ASCAP members, there are we get like membership perks. One of the cool membership perks we get is one free song mastered a month through this online service called Lander, which is pretty neat. So all of our songs, acoustic songs, will not only be fully mixed but also fully mastered, which would be really nice. So thanks ASCAP, and also thanks for sending me like $4.30 every 6 months for all that radio play, baby. Woo! So
I think it's fun with these
Chibla.
acoustic tunes too. Is like they're not just like exactly the same as the original songs. Like
Yeah.
they have some different parts and whatnot, and yeah, they're fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
We also have some fun little extras planned, maybe to release. Maybe around Christmas, maybe around New Year's. I don't know. Some other little things, little fun things. Yeah, exactly. Pew! Keep on our Instagram and Facebook. You'll see all the details on stuff, and of course, Patreon backers will see all that fun stuff.
Oh, was that the first take magic
Mhm.
video?
Yes.
Yep. Electric recording has been going really well. Right before this podcast, Brent got almost all the way through one of the our longest song ever,
One more?
which is like like 8
Sure.
minutes, I think.
I like it.
And at this point, once he finishes that song, will be more. But at this current point, the album completion, meaning the total album completion, like absolutely 100% done, is sitting at 9.69%, baby. Woo!
Not that he's counting.
Not that I'm counting. King of spreadsheets. So we did some pretty heavy work in the last month. We're gonna be like hitting it hard in December. We don't have a gig until early January. Our next gig is
Mead and Metal.
the Mead and Metal Fest, which
January 6th.
January 6th, which is really cool. It's if you've never been to the Mead and Metal Fest, you got to go. It's super fun.
Well, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of day drinking.
Mm-hmm.
It's a chance to see Lords of the Trident, not at 11:45 at night.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
we headline this
At
like
5.
Yeah, at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So you can watch a whole set and then go out and have supper.
Yeah.
And
We might even go with you.
and still have a night open. So seriously, put it on your calendars. You'll never see Lords of the Trident at 5 o'clock in the afternoon at any other show.
Nope.
It's a lot of fun.
Also coming up in December onwards, I'm running a show. Speaking of the Mead, I'm running a show at the Meadery called Viking Church, which is the second Sunday of every month, and it is a early metal show focusing on kind of local and regional metal at the Mead Hall. It's free, and it's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So if you're in the Madison area, come down every second Sunday of every month, and receive the sacrament of the Viking Church.
Is the Mead and Metal Fest at the Meadery, or is that
High
noon?
High noon.
Okay.
High noon. I think next year it'll probably be at the Meadery. They probably don't have the sound quite where they want it to.
No,
Yet.
they need to upgrade a smidge more yet before they can do mega big shows there.
Yep.
They're good for like your folky, acousticy stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Well, and I've put together an electric show or two there, with varying results. I'm working with them. I'm helping them out as best I can to try to upgrade the system and to guide them. But Peter actually has a pretty good handle on things.
Sweet.
So I expect some upgrades pretty soon. I'm actually also working on a arcade cabinet for the Mead Hall, much like these.
That's awesome.
And so I'm working on. It's going to be honey themed. So the whole thing's going to be yellow. And I bought a couple of like standard arcade US. So like there's two types of joysticks. Well, so there's two types of joysticks, right? The joysticks that I prefer, that I have on my cabinets, are the Japanese fighter sticks. They're sort of like a round oblong sort of a thing. The most of the arcade machines that people are familiar with are like the stick and ball, right, for the controller, right, that kind of a controller. So that's like a United States sort of a thing, where the other one, the oblong one, is like a Japanese thing. So I bought two US joysticks with the stick and ball. I'm going to remove the ball from the top and 3D print a beehive, and replace the ball with the beehive.
It'll hurt when you touch the beehive.
And it'll hurt when you touch the
It'll
beehive.
bees will pop out and sting you. It'd
Yep.
be the extra challenging video game.
Yep, I'm making it textured, like bee stings. So
Oh.
yeah, exactly. Miss Pac-Man, no! Top score. So anyway, so you better get down to the Mead Hall for Viking Church, and you know what else you better do?
Stop pointing at me. Okay, let's see what to talk about today. Since after Ty stops dying. Well, let's see.
Better not lick any doorknobs at a convention.
Yeah. I'm very much in dog mode right now. So I just got a new dog last Saturday. So when making these decisions, if you want to be a true warrior, true metal warrior, you need to rescue a dog. Instead of, I know there's a lot of people out there that are totally into doing the breeds and whatnot, but I don't know.
That's false metal.
Yeah.
That's what?
False metal.
It is
Like
false
you're always
metal.
playing dogs in shelters and whatnot that need a home.
It is. So I found this dog on one of my aunts is part of this rescue called White Paws. They're a German Shepherd rescue, and they do like mixed breeds and everything, just as long as there's some sort of shepherd in them. But found this dog, put an inquiry into it, and like end up finding out the story. Like he's super malnutrition or super malnourished. Like had a sister that ended up passing away after they got him. This really bad backstory, but you get the dog, big sweetheart. You know, ends up fitting into my family perfectly. So, don't support puppy mills. Support rescues, and finding a match that way just makes so much more sense.
Nice.
So,
Did you hear California recently took a shit on puppy mills?
as in like,
They like outlawed them.
yeah,
That's good.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I feel like it should be outlawed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
they need to.
Breeders
Yeah.
aren't necessarily bad, but puppy mills are
Well, right.
fucked
I
up.
mean, you're not gonna get rid of them because people do want their, their show dogs, or people get into these, very specific breeds, which is fine.
Right,
but
right.
I don't know. There's so many dogs that are being mistreated out there. It's crazy. So, but do your research, like study or learn backgrounds of these rescues and like where the dogs are coming from and what to do when you get them. Like you have to be ready to do classes and stuff. So.
I think that outlawing of the puppy mills and in Denver the outlawing of declined cats. I feel like those are really big victories for like animal welfare.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say I was completely side topic, but I like how most people who have dogs will easily be able to tell you the breed of dog, and like most people who have cats are like, what kind of a cat is it? It's like it's a cat.
It's a black one.
It's black.
It looks- it's this color.
Yeah. So,
It's a big cat
very
or a
true.
small cat.
Well, I mean, taking care of a dog and a cat are two very different things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Cat's just like it runs around, it eats and it
It does
poops,
its
and you
own
just
thing.
scoop up its poop every once in a while, and
Yep.
then it's good.
dogs you have to do a lot more.
Yeah. First day in my house took the most massive shit I've ever seen come out of a dog. I swear it had to weigh 5 pounds.
Wow.
No kidding.
And it was in the house.
It was he was
Ugh.
scared and like freaking out a little bit, but
All that carpeting.
thankfully it was on the hardwood, so it was
Oh
it's good.
man.
Yeah.
Every time, Michi doesn't puke very often, but every time she does, it's
on
always
carpet.
on the freaking
Yeah.
carpeting.
I swear to God, I have like this inert sense that whenever I hear like a cat starting to throw up, like even if I'm sleeping, you just like somehow you like gain like jets on your back and you just fly out and like finds like a piece of newspaper and stick it under their face. You're
I
like,
think
Yep.
they
Puke
do
on
that
this.
because my guess is that they find the texture of carpeting. They feel more secure with it because I'm guessing it gives them more traction and whatnot. Whereas,
Yeah.
I'm guessing
Well,
they
yeah,
don't,
I
they don't
just-
feel secure when their paws are on like hardwood.
Yeah.
That would be my guess.
This is much better for me to puke on.
So does that leave you then with 2 dogs and 1 cat now?
2 dogs and 1 cat, and I'll even give pictures to Ty
Ooh,
out
yes,
there,
please.
so we
Here
can
is
show
the new
everybody's-
dog, ladies and
show
gentlemen.
everybody my new
Is it a
man, my
German
animals.
Shepherd?
Mixed? Yeah, with Doberman, and my other dog's Doberman Shepherd Lab mix. So
You should
wow.
send me a picture of it because Alyssa's obsessed with shepherds.
okay, he's got more of a Doberman body, kind of, but definitely Shepherd colors.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
yeah, it's sweet. But yeah, do your research. Like, make sure you plan a time that like it's gonna fit in your house. It's gonna fit with your other animals.
Get ready for it to take a massive dump.
Yes, get ready for all
Just
the poop.
all over.
All the poop.
Yep. So, hey, speaking of cute, amazing animals, maybe we should just break down the walls, just flip the table, hold the mics first, and say, hey, get to the good part, ladies and gentlemen. Aki's cat picture of the month.
Woo!
There it is. If cute dogs were not enough for you, this cute cat will be enough for anyone.
So now that we're, we're getting into late fall and winter and whatnot, and I fall and winter are my favorite seasons, and
I know.
It's like part Maine Coon.
yeah, it's definitely. I looked up. This one is a Maine Coon cat,
Short-haired Maine
and
Coon.
this is in Norway, and
That's my puppy.
Norway is super metal.
yes, they are Norway, Sweden, and
Scandinavia.
Finland
Yeah.
in particular, but. I love cats in the backdrop of snow and whatnot. I love like cats and dogs I've had in the past. I love when they're like in the snow and they kind of hop into like a snowbank and then like you don't see their head and their head pops up and then they leap again and whatnot. And I like how his cat's very interesting look. I feel like Maine Coons, you know, you might have heard like the stories that they arrive with, you know, colonists, you know, from England and our countries, and that they intermix with maybe local wildcat populations, and hence you get the Maine Coon cat look now. And I feel like they almost look like lions. They have like a very pronounced, often like jaw and muzzle and whatnot.
Yeah.
I feel like this cat's muzzle it has like a big jaw. It's almost like it's like women that are like attractive, but their jaws look really large. Like what's her name, like Ygritte or whatnot, the one that Jon Snow is with.
Exactly.
Like she's attractive, but she has like a pronounced jaw.
A large jaw.
Yeah, a large jaw.
Yeah. And
you know, it's something.
I feel like the singer from Taiketo has that sort of like giant mouth.
Yeah,
maybe it's just
that
jowls.
I can't. Yeah, it's either got like an overbite or an underbite, but he's got just huge teeth, and he's like, "If I only had the wings to fly." Yeah. But you know, I mean, he's got a big face.
Yeah.
This cat with the fur around it almost looks like a wolf.
Yeah,
I
agree. It has like almost a wolf look.
Yep. It's the pointy ears that do it.
That contributes as well.
Yeah. Maine Coon cats are really cool cats.
And kind of the intense look in the eyes is also kind of wolf-like.
You don't see. I feel like you don't see many short-haired Maine Coons like that.
No,
usually they're super long.
They're one that, you know, in terms of house cats, they're one of the ones that gets the largest, and they're very intelligent. They can play fetch. I had one on my block growing up, in Cambridge growing up, and it used to jump on people's shoulders. Actually,
oh wow,
like super heavy and weighty and whatnot. But they're very cool, and I think like I meet a lot of people who don't live around Wisconsin. They hate snow. You know, I meet a lot of people who are like from Southern California, and they're just like, oh, I can't deal with the snow. But I will say, I mean, it gets kind of ugly after a few days. But the first day when snow comes down heavy, it's super beautiful.
Oh,
and that stark contrast, like, it always gets me very pensive. And
everything gets really quiet when you go outside, and then all of a sudden it's just like,
do you know snow actually has like a sound dampening effect? It like absorbs sound, like hence making it more. I think like ice might have an opposite effect, but snow actually absorbs a lot of that. So yeah, it gets so quiet.
Yeah.
There's a great YouTube channel. I can't remember the name of it, but there's a word for it. But basically, it's this channel devoted to sounds that give you that like tingly feeling.
ASMR.
Yes, ASMR. And they had one. This guy has this great channel, and he has like really high end mics. I think he might even have some Neumanns and whatnot. And he records things like rain or snow, and it just snow falling actually has a sound, and it's so relaxing.
Should we give the viewers some Lord's ASMR?
Aki's sweater.
There you go. Hope that gave you some tingles. Ladies.
But, all right.
Okay.
So speaking of massive 5-pound dumps on the floor, you want to talk about?
Yep.
You got to put your plug in about net neutrality.
Oh my God. Oh, I thought you were talking about something else. I thought you were talking about on the way to Rock and Skull.
Was there a 5-pound dump on the floor?
You remember when you had us pull over on the... You're like... and you were in there for like 20 minutes? It was great. Anyway, so...
We gotta stop, guys. We gotta stop.
Anyway.
It's not gonna make it.
Well, there was that, but that wasn't what I was alluding to.
This is Brian's new monthly segment. Brian's 5-pound dump. Brian, what's your 5-pound dump this month?
I guess it would have been on the way to Rock and Skull.
Well, okay. But yeah, a bunch of assholes are about to take a 5-pound dump on the internet, which sucks. Which Aki and I are very angry about. We're specifically talking about net neutrality, and if you have not done this yet, I would highly, highly recommend that soon, like in the next day or so, or like in the next 5 minutes, go to battleforthenet.com, right? Battleforthenet.com, or just type Battle for the Net in Google. It will help you like auto dial your senators, congressmen, etc. Tell them that you support net neutrality and that what the FCC is doing is total bullshit. And here's why, right? For those of you, and I know a bunch of people that are watching this, that are on our Patreon, know all about net neutrality. But just in case there's a small smidgen of people who don't, the long and short of it is right now you pay for internet access, and then wherever you go is like up to you. Everybody gets the same speeds. If net neutrality gets repealed, you'll pay for internet access, and then you'll pay like an additional tier to go to Facebook. Oh, but if you wanted to go to YouTube, that's $5 extra a month. And hey, if you'd like to see CNN, Fox News, NBC, that'll be an additional $10 a month. Basically, the cable companies are going to be able to decide what sites go fast and what sites go slow. Oh, and you could pay an extra $5 or $10 to make everything go fast if you want. It's basically just taking what we have, making it shittier, and just for the purposes of cable companies making more money.
Speeds as they want, and a lot of us live in area. Sorry,
no, go for it.
A lot of us live in areas where there really is only one company that offers internet. Like a lot of times we don't have an option. Like, Madison, we're lucky in that we have 2 or 3 options, but a lot of small towns, especially, they have one option.
Yeah.
And basically, so you don't have any way of escaping that the grip of the local internet provider, and they can decide to throttle speeds as they want.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the scarier thing too is if the site that they can decide, hey, if this site maybe you're on Charter in Madison and somebody starts up chartersucks.com, they can decide, chartersucks.com is going to go at 56k speed, whereas everything else will go at normal speed. They can decide essentially what will be fast and what will be slow. And for a band that is largely built on the power of the internet, it's a scary thing, because if it's like our track versus like Rihanna or Little Peep, rest in Peep. Yeah, too soon. Sorry. Yeah, nobody knows who Little Peep is. Here's Little Peep. He died. Sorry. Anyway, if it's like iTunes versus Bandcamp, right? So you could go play a Rihanna or a Jay-Z or a what are the kids like nowadays besides Little Peep? Taylor Swift. If you want,
Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean. if it's iTunes streaming versus Bandcamp streaming, which is all independent, right? And iTunes gives the cable companies $5 million and says, make it fast. Bandcamp can't do that. So essentially, things slow down. If you want to hear a Lords of the Trident track, it might buffer and stutter and spurt and die, versus playing a Rihanna or Frank Ocean track will be perfectly fine for you. And if that sounds like bullshit, it's because it is bullshit. And so if you want to, you need to go make your voices heard right now. This is something that is incredibly important to this band, to a lot of independent bands, and to just kind of people that create on the internet in general.
And there's a lot of resources I just want to add, like the Battle for Net thing. They'll give you a spiel to talk about or whatnot. If you do just a search in Google, write a search through Reddit, there's even a site, it's actually really cool, that has basically a bot that it'll give you a template to write, and it'll automatically send emails to all the House of Reps for your state and the 2 senators for your state. So if you just look around, there's a lot of people have done a lot of the work for us and whatnot. We just have to take the extra step.
Well, it's ultimately just greed.
It's
just cable companies want to gouge everyone a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. So, and it's like, I hate to be cynical, but it's like, man, it feels like this is the time when it's actually going to happen, considering our current political climate and stuff like that. And it's like one of those things, like once a law is in place, it's harder to undo it. But I don't know. I still have a glimmer of hope that people will
speak up.
Well, yeah. I think a lot of people have been speaking up. I have a glimmer of hope that maybe the congressmen and senators will actually listen. maybe.
It'll probably be for selfish. If they do, even it'll be for selfish reasons. Cause
Yeah.
they want to be reelected.
Right. Well, that's fine. Just don't touch our internet, basically, because if the internet goes down, this band gets a lot less of a chance to make it, quote unquote, or just go forward. I mean, if we have trouble reaching people, if we're not on a level playing field with all the other bands, then it's like, we don't have $5 million to increase our speeds, make an advertising campaign, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, the people who are watching this, you support us on Patreon and going to shows and stuff like that. If it's way harder for people to go to Patreon or to hear our stuff or to support us, then it's way harder for us to get bigger and bigger, and do more, essentially. Which, I'm thankful to say, speaking of Thanksgiving and thankfulness, I'm thankful to say that, like, in the past couple years, we've really like ramped up and done a lot. The podcast, the acoustic album, all the shows, the videos we've been coming out with, the guitar world stuff. Like, we've been really like it feels like it's been it's been ramping up. There's been momentum, which is great. It's better than a lot of bands can say. So that's what makes me worried about this. The net neutrality thing is really other than everything having to do with it, it's just like competing on that level is really difficult.
Pulling the wind right out of our sails.
Yep. So stop it. Hey, dicks. Stop it.
Don't make us pay for porn.
Yeah. Don't make us. I'm not going back to the dark ages. You want me to go to a video store and look a man in the eye and say, I'd like to rent that videotape? Do you know how... I mean, look at this man. Do you think he wants to do that? Do you think any of us want to do that? No.
Awkward as it is. I my hand trembles when I call an independent pizza place I can't order online.
Right. We don't want to do any of that.
I'm like, hi, I want a pizza for pickup. No delivery, and it's large, and the crust thick pepperoni.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
What's your address? I don't know. What's your address? Sorry. Click. So
what's your address?
Don't make us do that. Last couple things we had here, like I said, short podcast today. Last couple things we had very recently. I ran for the
Sorry.
No, it's all good. For the Madison Area Music Association, the MAMA, I ran the Breakthrough Artist Competition at the High Noon Saloon, where we saw...
The breakdance artist competition?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Breakthrough.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. We saw 7... Stop it!
I'm trying.
We saw 7 brand new bands, so bands that were less than 3 years old, compete and do battle against each other to be crowned the Breakthrough Artist of the Year for fabulous prizes. And one of our old friends, Mr. Mike Charlton, a.k.a. Captain Bloodbeard, his band, 6 Gun 7, whose shirt I'm wearing, which, by the way, they only have, like, 5 members. So 6 Gun 7. Yeah.
5, 6, 7.
Right. Well, maybe. I don't know. I was asking him, like, so how many mics are you going to need? 6? He's like, oh, no, like 4. I'm like, don't you have 6 members? He's like, no, we have 5. I'm like, but it's 6 Gun 7. He's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway. They competed. They unfortunately did not win, but they did a great job, and I got to see a bunch of other really cool bands. Good time was had by all, and I think this is the first year that we ran the Breakthrough Artist Competition. I've been involved with it for the last 3 years. First year that we ran the Breakthrough Artist Competition that we did not have like a major like blow up post Breakthrough. Well, because like the last couple years, one of the bands that like didn't win would like take to social media and be like, "This is bullshit. Everybody sucks," and they tag people specifically like Ty Christian's a dick with a small penis, and Mary Sweeney sucks, and Brian Koenig has long hair and also smells like cabbage, and blah blah.
Because they didn't win.
Because they didn't win.
Yeah.
And this is the first year that not only did everybody follow the rules and everything went smoothly, we actually finished like early. Like I was done at like 9:15. I left. It was amazing. But
Ooh, on this year.
so there was a band called. If you're in the Madison area, check out these bands. Late Harvest.
Oh.
They were very good.
I know them.
What kind of music are they?
Like a.
I wasn't sure if it would be like, we are Late Harvest.
No. There was only one metal band that was in the Breakthrough Artist competition, and they dropped out before the competition.
Oh, okay.
Disgunt.
Okay.
And I told
them.
We've played with them.
we played with them, we saw them, and I told Brent, I was like, man, those guys are too heavy for the Breakthrough Artist competition. And he's like, which band? I'm like, Disgunt. And he's like, oh yeah, and it's like, yeah, they'd be too heavy for you.
They have
too heavy for me. And it's like
tuned down
Disgunt.
9 strings.
Yeah.
It's like might be too heavy for me.
Yeah.
Pretty weird to say.
Yeah. They're pretty heavy. Let's see. And then White Bush Unicorn took second place. White Bush Unicorn. They're like Frank Zappa meets Ween.
Whoa.
They're really weird.
Wow. With that name, I would hope they'd be weird.
Yeah, they're super weird. They have this amazing transvestite named Baby Bear that runs their merch table. Just incredible. Like high heels, giant chest hair. Oh my god, it was so cool. So they were great. And then Sam Ness, which is he's a solo artist, he took third. He's really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm actually playing his CD release party on the 21st of December.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a cool dude. So check out those bands. If you go to themamas.org, you can check out all the bands on the Breakthrough. They were all really good. Like honestly, it was a real close year. The first and second band, the difference between first and second was 0.5 points.
Wow.
It was a really, really close match. So it was good. That's basically all we had on the agenda. Have you guys seen any like movies or played any games recently that you want to talk about?
No, sorry.
I'm good.
Ty and I both saw the new Thor film. Was really good.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok.
Surprisingly funny. Like I knew it was going to have jokes, but I mean it was just like non-stop humor. Multiple times, I literally like laughed out loud.
Have you guys seen it?
Not yet.
Oh, really good.
I think if I had like two fairly minor criticisms, like I still feel like it's a really good film. One is there's almost some humor in like the humor is almost so constant that there are a couple parts where like I feel like they were trying to have a meaningful moment and like especially at the end of the film, and it almost affected the narrative because there was so much humor, but it was still great.
Yeah.
The other one I won't like necessarily do a spoiler, but I feel like there's a certain character has a redemption in the film, and I feel like it's almost like it's kind of like a trope. It felt kind of forced. There was also a moment where someone had like infinite ammo at a similar moment.
Yeah.
I hate that trope. And the friend I was watching it with had served in the military, and he's like, those M16s run out. They have 20 round clip. It's like
when I saw that too, I was like,
in like 5 seconds, you know.
Yep.
And it's not a big deal, and I mean, like, if you're watching a Marvel movie, it's not going to be, like, realistic, but I think that, like, the gun with the infinite ammo, that's a trope that I just want to see die.
Yeah.
Like, I just want that to go away. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Aki and I watched, I think we talked about it on the Spooky Cast, but we didn't actually talk about watching it because we hadn't watched it yet. We watched The Void. We didn't see that before the Spooky Cast.
We mentioned we were going to see it, but yeah.
Aki and I watched The Void. Like 6.5 out of 10. Like thinking back on it,
6.5.
it was good. There were parts of it that were good, but we found out it was a crowd-funded film, which
you
not
feel it in a low budget.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but the story was just kind of weird, kind of here and there.
The ending in particular, I thought was just weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, very weak.
Yeah.
I think horror movies struggle a lot. I keep interrupting. No. Go. I feel like horror movies, it's like one of my favorite genres along with sci-fi, and I see a consistency in that. I feel like not all, but a lot of horror films really struggle to like tie up the loose ends or like just like find resolution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yep. I since I was super sick, I got the opportunity to play and beat a couple of games. Heidi just beat Breath of the Wild, which I didn't. I closed my eyes and shut my ears and didn't see the end of, but she loved it. But I bought the new Super Mario on Nintendo Switch, which is absolutely amazing. Like, it's if you have a Switch, buy this game. Like,
I watched Andrea's brother play it a little over the weekend.
I heard it's phenomenal.
It's amazing. It's challenging and fucking cute as hell. The cutest.
It's
Lords of the Trident seal of cute approval.
It's like the Mario 64, but like in high definition.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that when I was watching Ty play a little bit last night. Like it had elements of that, which was very cool.
Yeah,
but like obviously much bigger.
Yes.
A lot of really fun callbacks to earlier Mario games. A lot of controls are tight. It's polished as hell. Like 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece.
Now that game, am I right? Kind of like Mario 64. It doesn't have like Tanuki's suit or the artist stuff or whatnot. Right?
No, but what you do, it's got a hat, and you throw the hat on things, and then you like become the thing that you throw the hat on.
So you can actually walk around as a little Goomba.
Yeah, that's very awesome.
And you get the powers of the thing that you throw the hat on.
Or you can be a cheap and swim around.
Exactly. Yep.
I know it sounds funny, not to get off topic, but I know like. Was it the Mario game that came out before that, Galaxy or whatnot? Like, they had a cat suit, and as much as I love cats, I'm like, man, that's cheap. Like, cats are like the ultimate predators. Like, they can fucking, like, jump, climb up trees, scratch the hell out of anything. Like,
yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, that almost seems too powerful.
Yeah.
They can fucking fuck.
Yeah. So, yeah, cats are great. 10 out of 10.
All right.
So, a couple other games that I've been playing. I just bought the. I've actually never played. I never ever played the original Resident Evil.
Oh. No way.
Never played it. And I bought. So they were having a Black Friday sale on Steam, and I bought the Resident Evil remake. The HD remake.
I've heard great things about that, especially the original GameCube remake. Yeah.
Yep, and I just recently bought a thing to hook up Xbox 360 controllers to your computer. So I've been having fun with a lot of the games that have been kind of janky on a keyboard and mouse, where you really need a controller. I've been playing Resident Evil, and it's good, man. It's really hard.
Really? Because I was going to say, are you just playing on normal mode?
Yeah.
I wonder if they made it more difficult, because I feel like the original on PlayStation wasn't too hard.
I'm having a hell of a time with it.
Really?
Yeah, at least the remake. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad at it, but it's tough.
I will say it's a little easier playing as I can't remember if it's Jill Valentine that game. I think.
Oh, I'm playing with Chris.
It's a little easier, I think, as the girl.
Oh, okay.
You
Okay.
can get the shotgun quicker, for example. I think.
Ah, all right. So I've been playing that. I finished an indie game called Stories Untold. Yeah, 6 out of 10. If you like spooky games, I'd say go for it. A game that I really enjoyed was a game called Pony Island, which is also an indie spooky game. And it was really cool. It sort of kind of threw you for a loop everywhere. I won't give away too much, but you you wake up in an arcade and you have to play this game called Pony Island, and you have to hack your way out of the game using the game's code, and it was actually kind of challenging, some of the puzzles.
Really good things about that one. I think I actually have it. I bought it when I was on the last Steam sale.
Yeah, it's like a 3-hour game.
Yeah.
You can beat it in 3 hours. But I thought it was really well done. And right now, and just today, I bought the game Deadwood, which I'm interested in playing. That one's getting super good reviews. It's an indie top-down horror, adventure horror game.
What's it called again?
Deadwood.
Deadwood.
Yep.
Okay.
And I bought this other one, Slasher or Slayer. I'll put the name up, but it is this. It looks like a Castlevania game, and it bills itself as having the most metal soundtrack of any adventure Metroidvania game, and it's pixel art, but really well done, heavily gruesome graphic pixel art. So
what's that game called?
I'll put the name up. It's Slasher or Slayer or something like that.
That Steam sale's still going up, right? It's still
Yeah, it was $3. and it looks really cool. I haven't played it yet, so I will get back to you guys next month.
I wanted to.
Yeah, no.
Just to kind of chime in. Actually, I could ask your thoughts on a couple things. So, since the Steam sales, I've been curious about that game. I think you mentioned one time on Facebook, but it's also kind of like a horror mystery game where you're the teenagers on an island and there's like ghosts.
Oxenfree.
Yeah.
Really good.
Really good.
Highly
Okay.
recommend Oxenfree. It's really fun kind of adventure horror game. And I love the story. I thought the story was fantastic.
Okay, wonderful. And R1, have you tried that game? I think it's called Alone in the Woods. It's like
Yeah, I have not tried that. I've seen a lot about it, but I haven't tried it.
okay. And
At all.
one last question. Sorry.
Yeah.
I loved Limbo, but I did not. And I don't even know if I have enough time now, but I would love to play it through. But the makers made another
Inside.
game. And you were telling me you got it. Did you find that one also really enjoyable?
Inside was incredible.
Okay.
Better than
Might
Limbo.
pick it up. Oh wow. Then
Better than Limbo.
Even if I don't get a chance to play till after done with recording, I'll have to pick that up. Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Way better than Limbo and way more mysterious.
Ooh,
The ending will make you go like, huh, and it'll make you think even more than Limbo.
Really? Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yep. All right, anybody else have anything to add? All right, well, I think we should end this TRIDENTcast on some party ASMR.
Are you having a good time? Beer is delicious.
Can you do that sound where it sounds like you're drinking water?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed this Trident cast. Boots and cats and boots and cats and
Boots and
boots
cats.
and cats